Yo, what's Gucci, what's Fendi, what's Poppet, brand new whip? Nah, fam, I just hopped in. Welcome back to the Psychology Podcast. And it's the Monday mental health episode. I hope I say that right. But anyway, I'm joined by a very special guest. Um all the way from Zambia, yeah? And she is a mental health advocate. It's such a beautiful thing. She goes by the name of Nchimunya Funga. Yeah, I'm still trying to get that name, but I hope I say that correctly. But anyway, she will explain more about who she is. But yeah, I just thought she should come through, share her experiences about mental health. So, are you there? Are you with us?
I'm here.
Okay, so could you please just briefly introduce yourself to those people that don't know you, what you do, where you're from, all of that.
Okay, hi. So my name's Nchimunya. It's pronounced Nchimunya.
Okay,
My
okay.
name's Nchimunya Funga. I'm a mental health advocate and I'm from Zambia.
Okay.
Mhm.
Brilliant, brilliant. So I just want to get straight into it. What is mental health to you?
Okay, so mental health is, well, you know how your body doesn't feel so well when you're sick?
Mm,
Sometimes your brain also doesn't feel too well. So that's the mental health that I specialized in,
mm,
mostly depression and stuff like that.
mostly depression. So
Mm-hmm.
that's an interesting one. You said mental health is when you feel like you're sick. Uh, is it for you? And you said you specialize in depression. For you, is it something that um you have a certain feeling in your stomach? Is it a mental thing? Is it physical? Because you talked about being sick, and there's very many forms of being sick. What is it exactly?
Okay, so first and foremost, depression can manifest into a physical sensation. Like you can be really depressed and you can feel it in the physical, like you feel sick, like what can I get? Like malaria. But
Mm,
it's a mental thing. So mental can also manifest itself into physical. That's why I said you cannot feel too well.
mm. Okay, that's an interesting one. So take me back to the first time you ever had any mental health issues.
So I was diagnosed with severe depression with some symptoms of psychosis in December of 2020. So that was actually one of the most traumatic. So that was after a traumatic thing happened to me.
Mm.
I don't know if I can go into it
Oh
or
no, you don't. You don't
what.
need
Is
to.
this age friendly? Like,
Well, it is age friendly. Like
sorry.
it is age friendly. But if you don't feel comfortable sharing it, then it's still okay.
No, I don't mind sharing it.
Oh, okay. So please go ahead.
Okay, so about like the year before I was diagnosed with depression, my I was raped first by a
Mm,
woman, then
mm,
by a man. So that's where the
mm,
depression just spawned from. And
mm,
yeah, so I was diagnosed in December of 2020.
mm,
Uh, I
mm,
started taking meds in December of 2020, and they've like really helped, though sometimes don't really help. But yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Um, and for you, it's uh, it's something that then triggered a certain obviously emotion because you were confused. I'm guessing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I was confused. I was, yeah,
Oh.
every emotion you could think of.
So did you go see like a clinical psychiatrist, or was it like you talked to a friend first? What was that process like?
Okay, so first signs of my depression was self-harm. So I self-harm. I started self-harming in the same year, like right before in
Mm,
April, somewhere there. And
mm,
so my sister saw my hand. Like I used to cut myself with a razor. I still do,
mm,
but it's improved. So my sister saw the cuts on my hand, and then she was like,
mm,
"What's that?" And then I just broke down, and I just told her
mm,
everything. I'm like, "Okay, this is what happened. This
mm,
is the process. This is what happened. This is why I'm self-harming." And from
mm.
there, she took me to a counselor at church. So at
Oh,
church, they recommended a psychiatrist for me at China. So we have a mental hospital which is called China in Zambia.
mhm,
And from
mhm,
there, um, I actually admitted. I've been admitted twice actually on suicide watch.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
And the next year, I attempted suicide, which was almost successful because I died for like 5 minutes. So
Mm.
yeah,
Died for 5 minutes. So did someone stop
yeah, like my
you
body stopped.
or what?
Okay, so that was January 17th. I
Mm-hmm,
took I was prescribed antidepressants, and I was just supposed to take one, like once a day. I was
mm-hmm.
taking one, and on that day I took 30. So
Whoa.
from there, I had to be
Ooh.
rushed. Yeah, I had to be rushed to the hospital, and
Mm.
well, yeah, I took the medicine around 22, and then I was only attended to like at 05 in the morning.
Yo.
So yeah, and then I died for like 5 minutes.
But then you woke up after.
Yeah.
Thankfully. Okay. Um. Wow. So when you are talking to when you're seeing a clinical psychiatrist and all of these people, did you feel like it was helping as time went on until like this stage?
I don't think it would have worked if I was just taking like one of each. But the fact that we combined all three, I think it really helped greatly.
So you think all three things worked at once? All right. Um, eish, it's obviously for you it was a lot to handle, and they say our biggest weapon is our mind. You know, and obviously
Mm-hmm.
psychologically, that took a toll on you. Now, I have another question now. If let's say someone is going through something that's related with mental health, how would you advise them um, to deal with their own these issues?
I don't think they can deal with their own issues, but I'll give them advice that my therapist and my psychologist gave to me. First, you have to break down what exactly is the problem. Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Is it whatever? You have to break it down and just
Oh,
see which one
wait.
you have to deal
How
with
how
first.
do you
And
break it down? Are there specific questions you have to ask yourself?
okay, so when you go to the hospital, when you're getting your evaluation and your checkup and stuff, they give you a test on which which determines which type of mental disorder you have. So they're going to
Mm.
ask you to rate stuff from a scale of 1 to 10, from a scale of 1 to 5,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
if they add up all those scores and they get it, they I don't know how they do it, but they get a certain type of number, and that would determine which type of mental health you have. So I would advise to just go to the mental health clinic and break down and see which one you're dealing with.
Oh, so that it's you actually know what you have to tackle and not just assume.
Yeah, like a lot of people assume, and some people mistake sadness for depression or just nervousness for anxiety. But when you
Oh,
go to the clinic, it helps you tackle the main reason you're
hmm.
feeling that way.
Could you please, like for anyone, this is an interesting one. What would you say is the difference between depression and sadness?
There are symptoms that you show for depression. So if there's constant low mood, change in appetite, change in sleeping pattern, then if that goes on for 2 weeks or more, then that is considered depression. But if you just have it for like, oh, today I'm sad, tomorrow I'm happy, and just like fluctuating, then that can be just sadness. But if it goes on for 2 weeks or more, then they might consider it as depression or any other mental illness.
Ooh, damn. So depression is basically a prolonged form of sadness, if I was to put it in simple terms. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. It's not necessarily sadness, but it's like sadness, but just prolonged.
Oh, wow. Like you're actually educating me right now. You see, I'm a mental health advocate just like you, but this is, what can I say, new information for me. And I'm sure everyone else who's listening, there are people that are also like, whoa, this is something new. And specifically, what I like about what you're talking about, you went to the clinic and you, let's say, seek professional help. But before you seek professional help, I remember you talked about how you went to your church elders or counselor. Is that so? Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about, okay, because I'm looking at I don't know, maybe it's different in Zambia, but I'm just looking at church in general. There's some people that may be scared to go to elders because they'll be like, in the African culture, mental health, it's like, it's not like a thing. I don't know if I'm making sense. It's
yeah.
For a lot of Africans, it's just, so would you urge someone to go to an older person if they like immediately they have an issue like for you, or would you advise to go to someone a bit younger? Like, which angle would you start off, that starting point? Because I think the starting point is very difficult for like a lot of people.
Okay, so in an African home, mental health is not the elephant in the room. So if you're experiencing those symptoms, I'd advise to go to somebody that you trust. A response can also trigger your depression or your anxiety or whatever, because the way somebody responds will either help you or will hurt you. So you can go to somebody who is well educated on the type of mental illness that you have. Because in Africa or in Zambia, let me just say, the typical Zambian home, the typical Christian Zambian home, the parents would think it's, oh my gosh, it's just demons. Oh my gosh, you're possessed. Oh my gosh,
I can relate.
You've entered things that you're not supposed to enter. Yeah, like, so that I would avoid. I personally would avoid. I avoided my parents, just not like they couldn't help, but because of that same, I felt like they were shoving religion down my throat. Like, okay, I know this is when a pastor feels sick, like he has malaria. Is he just going to read the Bible and he's going to get better? Or he's also going to go to like a pharmacist or a doctor or what? So my advice for the first steps to take is take somebody that is well educated with depression, because when you have depression or anxiety and you don't know what's causing it, it's really hard to explain like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling this, because you also don't know what's going on. Like, depression is just a low mood, like you don't even know what's causing it, but is well educated with depression, or somebody who's going to give you a positive response and is going to actually help you feel better or find a way out of it and give you the right steps to tackle that mental illness.
I can relate so much, Chichi. I can, because you see, sometimes as much as a lot of us are religious, right? You also need to take steps
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think just having prayers, it's important. Just not get it twisted, but sometimes these actions also help with, especially people that are specialized in these fields. Then they can tell you, okay, take antidepressants, or you need to see this therapist, and then try and air out the actual issue, or like you said, take a questionnaire or something to actually see what is the root, what is the issue, so that we know how we can tackle it further. That's such a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
thing. Oh my word. I think on a base level, you've tackled everything that is important. Of course, our time is running out now, but I just wanted to ask you, just as a closing remarks, are there any words, whatever it is, titled with mental health, would you like to just share with anyone listening?
Okay, so my closing remarks would be there's always something to live for. There's always something to be grateful for. Even when you wake up and you just feel like the world is just against you, just find that little speck of hope. Like,
Mm,
even if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, you're probably at the corner, so you can't see the end. So
mm,
just keep going. And I read somewhere where it said, if you're in hell, keep walking, because
mm.
why would you want to stay in hell? Just
Oh,
keep walking
that
until
was
you
deep.
get out of that hell. Yeah, until
That
you
is
get out of
such.
that hell, just
That's
keep
so deep.
walking, keep moving.
Mm, mm-hmm.
And if you find that you can't handle it on your own, I think, different, does your country have a helpline? I think Zambia does
Yes,
have a
yes, yes. It
helpline.
it has. They actually quite a lot. I was shocked. So it's good. I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
But during the helpline, like, there was this one experience. I know we're running out of time, but I just say this.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's this
yeah.
one experience. I had like pills in my hand. I had like over 50 pills in my hand. And then
Mm.
I called the helpline, and then they were like, we can't help you right now because the person is not available. I'm like, bro, I'm holding 50 pills in my hand. I'm about to die. So,
What type of
you can
helpline is
call
that?
me. I know, right? Like, I was so disappointed. I was so irritated. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. But yeah, I think
Wow.
you have to find the right helpline,
Mm.
the right person. Like I said, the right person to vent to. The right. Sometimes all you need is to tell somebody what's going on, and you feel a little bit better, because a problem shared is a problem half solved. So yeah.
I think you've got great gems. This is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, and especially helplines. What I'll try to do is I'll try get information, and then of certain helplines and pages, and then that's the least I can do, because it's always good to find the most professional help
Mm-hmm.
as fast as possible, because like you said, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Don't give up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, since our time has run out, I'd really love for you to just come back after maybe 4 we have questions, and then we have like a part 2 to just check up and all that. But where can we catch you, like social media?
Okay, so I'm not on Facebook, but I am on Instagram,
Mm,
and my Instagram name is Nchimunya Funga. Nchimunya_Funga.
okay. Okay, thank you so much. Please, guys, if you have any questions, DM her. And she can answer to the best of her ability. Mental health is real. Let's remember that there's always light. And I'll say, especially for my fellow guys, because I know there's been male suicides way more. It's crazy. It's, well, um, talk to someone. For real. Talk to someone. As for me, uh, my handle's at PsychoZW. You know where to find me. Let me know what you think. Until next time, peace.